Ellie, yeah, he's sitting in with us. And exciting. Before we do our normal intro, we're going to talk about the beer I'm drinking. We're going to talk about McDonald. We're going to talk about whatever Jeff's angry about. We want to go right to the phone line because we got a pretty important guest. We got Coach TJ Parker from Austintown Fish. What's going on, Coach?
Not much. Just getting prepared for tonight.
Coach, so you guys get Cheney tonight. You got a 2-0 start. First of all, congratulations on the great start. What do you see for tonight?
I mean, it's a rivalry game. There's some kids that had left Fish and went back over to Cheney once Coach got the job. So we're familiar with their kids as they are with us. And, it does, for the first time, I have to admit, it has that old school rivalry feel that I think I haven't felt in a long time in athletics the way it's developed over time.
Yeah. Now you don't want to ever look past anybody. You're going to have a tough game tonight, but you got a brutal schedule the rest of the year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think it starts tonight. I mean, we know what we're getting from a Cheney team. They're going to be athletic, they're going to be fast, and they're going to be tough kids. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's, the West Side rivalry, that's what it's always been about. So we're prepared for that, and we think it's just going to propel us into the back half of the season. That'll, test us and get us playoff ready, and that's the goal.
How far do you think this team can go this year for you?
Oh, I mean, we're just taking it day by day. And I mean, I know that's coach talk, but it really is that. We're in year 0 right now, so at this point next year, everything we're doing, everything we're installing, they get so much more comfortable with it. So I hope, that we can continue to progress and then, see where the chips may lay.
Mm-hmm.
TJ, Jimmy here.
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, buddy. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. You guys are on a roll.
Same to you, too, man. Same to you, too. Long way from playing basketball down at that place on Mahoney.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, talk to me a little bit about the Feed the Nest that you guys, when you took over, you brought that to the program.
Yeah, you know what? I guess I should say that's the one thing that I kind of picked up from just being Division III, college. Everything was about, the promotion of your school versus another school, how you can get guys to buy in. So when I was interviewing for the job, that was something that I wanted to start. I wanted to have an impact on social media. I wanted to get our kids noticed. I mean, our motto this year is take notice. And the Feed the Nest, I'm a huge fan of PJ Fleck, Minnesota's head coach, and what he does there. And I wanted something that I can stand behind, that when people ask, like, hey, what's your program about? Here it is. And that's what we talked about, Feed the Nest. It's kind of our mantra. It has like 4 pillars to it that focus on with the kids. And it's about, like, just being a Falcon and growing up in a Falcon. You're born in a nest or wherever, a family, and what goes along with that, the first thing is you're growing up. It's growth. So we want growth in the classroom, growth as a person, and then obviously growth on the field. After that, and during that time, it's a family atmosphere. It's a brotherhood. And then the last 2 pillars we talked about is flight, which once we grow, once we build that brotherhood, well, now we got to fly. We got to play, whether that be in our career field, in the classroom, or on the field. And then our number one goal in everything we do in life as a Falcon is to win. That's our final pillar of prosperity. So we've pounded that to the kids, and that's been the backbone to everything we do. That's kind of our fallback when, mistakes are made or there's chances to grow. We use that, and the kids have kind of taken to it, and honestly, the community's taken to it.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Honestly, it's great to see your success, and we're not going to keep you long, obviously, but, as a head coach myself, following in the footsteps of a kind of a legend that's sitting next to me, how has it been taking over for Phil? I mean, following in line with him.
Yeah, I can tell you this. and I guess maybe this would be like my words of advice, is a lot of people, and when you think about Fish especially, and I know it'll be the same at McDonald's, like, he had his style. And Phil and a lot of the previous successful coaches prior to him had their style. And I knew I was bringing in a whole new style and a whole new way to do things. And there's no doubt about it, that's going to be met with resistance. So that part wasn't easy. And I guess that's been the biggest growing point for me is, along the way, it's not an easy road. And you tend to kind of hold grudges against people who want to push back right from the start. But I kind of use that as motivation. And I told myself from the beginning, I just have to be myself. And
Absolutely.
in the end, if I fail or I succeed, I want it to be on me and not with influence of some other people. And I'm giving into that. So I've kind of held true to that as hard as it's been at times. But the one thing you guys know from the past, winning cures everything. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm bound to lose that sometimes. So
Yeah, but you haven't lost yet. I mean, and I know you're not going to say this, but you guys look really good. I mean, for you to go, I know you're not looking back anymore. You're looking forward. You got a game tonight, and we appreciate you coming on. But what you guys did to Ursuline last week, I mean, you took it to them. I mean, we got some unhappy Ursuline people in studio right now, but you really dropped a hammer on them a little bit.
Yeah, and honestly, make no mistake about it, that is a very, very good football team over there. And Coach Reardon is doing his thing, and I just think it was a game of momentum. And once we got it, I was proud to see the way our kids fought through that whole game. Ursuline scoring first, then us responding in a big way, then coming back right before half, catching that screen on us. And we went in, the feeling at halftime was we're down,
Right.
we blew it.
Right.
And just talk to them, and then they come out, hit the trick play, and score right away. And it was like, whoa. Are we going to really do this? Are we going to quit right now? And bang, everything changed in an instant. And then once we felt it, we kept it. And I think that was a confidence boost for us.
TJ, it changed in a hurry there. But hey, last thing before you go, what do we have to do to be able to get into the Steubenville game at the end of the year?
Yeah. Wow, you probably have to fight off some Steubenville people, I'll tell you that. They'll be beating up some Fitch people for their tickets. I did my student teaching there.
Oh,
So,
Coach, I just wanted to throw at you real quick. I loved what you said about being you. I tell this to young coaches all the time. A lot of times they want to cave to the parents or to the administration or base their philosophies, their strategies on other coaches, which is all fine. But you got to be you, because when you lose, you take the heat. Nobody else. So, I appreciate it. And, we're excited for your start, and, we wish you the best.
Yeah, come winter, Jimmy and you guys, hopefully I can get out to the McDonald game and see you guys.
You can sit in the balcony with Higgins and I.
Yep. We'll put you on the show. You'll be our third wheel for basketball season.
We'll just criticize Jimmy the whole time.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I'm ready for that.
Hey, good luck tonight, Coach.
Good luck, TJ.
No, thank you. I appreciate you guys for having us on and always showcasing our program. And thank you guys. Keep it up. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That was Coach TJ Parker from Austintown Fitch. Probably, I know he wasn't going to say it, but probably
best team in the Mahoney Valley.
Best team in the Mahoney Valley.
Team to beat. If there's a team to beat, they're number one.
And I think the crazy thing about them is the last couple years you really didn't hear much about them.
You know what, Jimmy? Though, let me throw this at you. I even think this with me. Sometimes you need a change. Unfortunate how the change happened at Austintown Fitch, but sometimes you need a change.
Jimmy's drinking.
Because it just re-energizes the program a little bit, and I think with the energy that TJ's bringing,
And I think, Jeff, nothing against you, but Brian, that's obviously what's going to happen for McDonald basketball.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Except we're used to being undefeated every year.
Yeah.
Or pretty close to it.
I mean, you'll be good for 1 year at least. All right, full court press. You want to call us tonight? You call 330-886-0813. We'll be on until probably about 5:30. We got Smurf coming on a little bit. He's going to give us his picks.
We got some call-ins.
We got some
coaches calling in, hopefully.
Yeah, Jimmy's got some people calling in for us. He wants to...
Higgins is drinking. What are you drinking? Jimmy's drinking. What are you drinking, Higgins?
Well, you know what Jimmy's drinking. Whatever it is, it's terrible. Whatever it is, it's like 30 cents a can.
Anybody that's watching this show because of me knows what I'm drinking.
Absolutely.
There ain't no doubt about it.
So anyway, a couple weeks ago, I talked about fall beers, right?
Yeah.
And I talked about there's either pumpkin beers or Oktoberfest. And I wasn't planning on bringing another pumpkin beer. I have a little story. It's not even important. But we went to Pittsburgh last weekend for a scrimmage, for a hockey scrimmage. We went to Burgatory after. You guys ever been to Burgatory?
No.
Have you ever been to?
No.
Great burgers.
I'll probably end up in purgatory, but not purgatory.
For a while.
For a long time.
For a while. But we went to Burgatory, and they had this beer called Atomic Pumpkin, and this is from New Belgium. And I typically don't like New Belgium beers because they're a really big craft brewery. I think they're owned by some huge company in Japan or something. I like local stuff, but this one is awesome. It tastes like pumpkin, and it has a special ingredient. Can you guess what it is?
Pumpkin.
No.
Cinnamon.
That cinnamon's in it. Special ingredient. Something different than any other pumpkin beer I've ever
Nutmeg.
had. Habaneros.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Hey, have you ever tried Busch Light?
I have no
It has a special
I
ingredient,
might have.
too.
I might have when I was in college.
What's the special ingredient in Busch Light?
Water.
But it has habaneros and it stings going down your throat. I
Oh,
love
wow.
it. It is so good. So
that sounds
Atomic
terrible.
Pumpkin. Well, if you guys want to try one, we got some in the fridge.
I'm drinking what I typically drink.
You got water. That's the
bottled
same thing as
water.
Jimmy's drinking. Hey, TJ Parker, he's awesome, right?
Oh, man.
You play
He's-
basketball with?
So back in our days at YSU, we were big flag football guys, the both of us. So we competed at the highest level of flag football in college. We actually both got to go to the regionals. We played at Ohio State. So I always had a relationship with him. Seth Steiner, that's the head track coach of Fitch, on his staff. I teach with his wife, good friend of mine. And then Dan Schnernberger, which I hear he might be calling in too to talk a little bit about
girls basketball.
Girls basketball. Those guys have been good friends of mine for a long, long time.
Where'd TJ go to high school?
TJ's a Fitch guy.
He's a Fitch guy?
He's a Fitch guy. All those guys are Fitch guys, and his staff is great. I mean, he got the Vanzo Tate back on staff, and guys that were big time players for them. So,
You know what? I loved what he said, though. I mean, just it's on me, and I'm going to make the decisions. You know, I'll listen to people, but I'm going to make the decisions because ultimately, if we lose, I'm the one taking the fall.
For sure.
I always took that stance, you know, and I listened to my coaches. But ultimately,
Win.
I got to make the decision.
Yeah, win.
when did
gotta
you
win.
listen to us?
When did I listen to you?
Here's what would happen with you, and I don't know if this happens with other successful coaches. You would argue with us, and then think about it, and then 50% of the time change it the next time something happens.
In favor of you guys?
Sometimes not.
Yeah,
I
listen,
mean, you
listen, it's
go
just
back
like
and
anything
think about
else.
it,
I mean,
right.
you guys, my coaches did a great job. My assistant coaches did a great job, and I'm sure TJ's assistant coaches, you mentioned some of them. You know, you're only as good as your staff, really. With that said, you know, you guys had great ideas.
Right.
Sometimes they worked. Sometimes they didn't.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, if our ideas didn't work, you still took the fall.
Absolutely.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? As an assistant coach, you know, you're the superintendent. You take the fall.
Yeah.
You know, you're the teacher.
Heavy
blame
is
the
the head.
superintendent.
Heavy is the head. Where's the
Speaking of
crown?
that, though, listen, I know we're about to go on break here.
Yeah, we got to go a quick
All right,
break,
let's
but that's
go.
okay. No,
Let's
go
go.
ahead.
Let's
No,
go.
no, we got
But
time.
speaking
It's our
of
show. We'll be here all night.
Yeah.
We'll bump Ackelson. We'll bump Hartwig. They're all on it.
Yeah, forget about them guys, anyways. But with that said about superintendents, with basketball at McDonald and me teaching at Struthers, both the superintendents that I've been dealing with this COVID, going back to school, sports, have been unbelievable in communicating with us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In both administrations, just getting us back in the gym. You know, our biggest thing at Struthers is we're back full time, but we're also have kids that are full time online.
Yeah.
So trying to get that.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's been a battle, and it's stressful.
That's why they make that money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And you did a good job. You kissed two asses before we went to our first commercial break.
Yeah,
Both
of
your
them,
bosses.
Struthers and McDonald.
Yeah, Mr. Pete Carone and
And
Mr.
Kevin
Kevin
O'Connell.
O'Connell. I appreciate both of you guys very much.
Yeah, you made that very clear.
Yeah, we're going to commercial. We're gonna have
We'll
Smurf
find
on.
out how he really feels.
Yeah,
on
during
the
commercial, I'll
break.
leave the mics on if you guys want to hear. All right, first commercial's coming up right now.
21 News.
Let's get right to our top story tonight.
TJ,
More
you're in.
experienced reporters
A new Wilmington restaurant.
GM Lordstown.
telling more local stories
We'll look at
Baby boy is recovering from a broken.
around our
Good
valley.
afternoon. We are here in Youngstown, right up.
Because you expect
It's important for everyone. No place like home.
more local news.
In Mercer County Court.
21 News is our valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
Attention football fans, order Coca's Pizza tailgate package for only $54.99. You'll receive 24 slices of our delicious cheese pizza, 20 jumbo wings, and 2 of our famous foot-long pepperoni rolls. Coca's Pizza, we serve it hot.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Your Armstrong services are more important than ever. There are more and more connected devices in the home these days. To get the most out of your experience, you need a network that is always getting better. You deserve superior performance, and that's what Armstrong offers every day. Whether you're working from home, enjoying your favorite content together, or simply catching up while apart, count on Armstrong to keep you connected to what matters most.
All right, we are back in our second segment of Full Court Press. And on the horn, we have the high school guru who went 4-1 one more time. He actually lost his alma mater again.
Damn it, Smurf.
Damn it, Smurf. We got Smurf on the line. What's up, Smurf?
I know, you guys keep giving me Girard games over here. So
Did we have a Girard game tonight?
You
For
know,
sure we got the Girard.
one L every week.
Yeah. So what did you think about the Girard game and that loss last week?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to go out on a limb a little bit, but I don't know. I can't figure them out.
Smurf, you definitely went out on a limb, my man.
No, I definitely did, but everyone else was picking the same team, so I felt confident with the other 4. I just figured, hey, if they can pull off a little bit of an upset, I'd be all right.
So we had a few guys go 5-0. They beat you. We owe them a beer. One of them is sitting across from me, so I got him tonight, Smurf. So if someone shows up to Amen Corner while you're working, you can buy him a beer, and then we'll pay you back on that one.
Yeah. That'll work out.
All right, you ready for this week's picks?
I'm ready.
All right, first game up. Game of the week, McDonald Springfield, right? Game of the week?
Game of the week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Going Springfield.
Oh, God.
Jimmy, who
I
you
know.
taking?
I knew you wouldn't like
Listen,
it.
I got my Danny Williams.
Jimmy's
I'm all bought in on McDonald tonight.
Smurf, I know you can't see it. I don't know if you're streaming this at the same time, but Jimmy just showed his McDonald football shirt.
And he showed me his belly.
And we saw his belly.
Hey, Smurf, give me a score in that Springfield McDonald game. Putting you on the spot.
What's that?
Give me a score in that Springfield McDonald game.
Let's go 34-27.
Ooh, he's closer.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blowout. I'm cheering for McDonald. You don't think? I hope not. I hope McDonald hangs. I want him to win, but Springfield's good.
No, they're good.
Okay, Smurf. Ursuline at Boardman.
We're going Boardman.
All right. Liberty at Champion. Jeff's alma mater.
Liberty.
Not alma
Really?
mater.
Champion thinks they're winning. Talked to a few kids today. They said Liberty's not very good.
Yeah, Champion thinks they're winning in everything.
Everything.
Yeah. All right, we got Valley at Columbiana.
Columbiana.
Yep. And here we go. Girard at Poland.
Ooh.
Don't do it,
Poland.
Smurf.
All right, he didn't do it.
Poland in a huge blowout. I hope no one from Girard is listening right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are. Don't worry.
Well, since you picked Poland, Girard's
I think
upsetting
that's
him.
going to get ugly.
My wife is listening. She's from Girard.
All right, Smurf, you got anything to add? Thanks for the picks again this week. 8-2 over 2 weeks. You're doing pretty well.
Good.
Yeah, we'll be 13-2 come about 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight.
Sounds
Attaboy.
good.
I love your confidence. Thanks, Smurf. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Hey, thanks, guys.
See ya. Yeah, Smurf went 8-2 the last
Yeah,
2 weeks.
yeah, but he had a lot of people last week went 5-0.
No, there's only a few.
Jimmy,
Cade Williams, Dan Williams.
Bernie Franzaglio, because
Bernie.
he was posting he should be on the show instead of Smurf.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody. Listen, let's be honest. Everybody wants on full court press.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
You easily become a star. Show your face one time. Now Jimmy's a star.
He is. Jimmy was always a star.
Jimmy was a star. Jimmy was always a star in our lives, our minds,
In our eyes.
in our eyes. Yeah.
I appreciate that coming from you two.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. All right, we're going to go coach's office.
And
All right,
before
you
we
get
do
some
that,
questions.
I
All right,
just wanna
I'm
tell
listening.
One quick thing I got a little story about Jeff this year when we were on the basketball. I was just telling somebody this story the other day. Actually, Tyler Spencer, that's joining us on staff at McDonald.
Niles guy, right?
Niles guy was at JFK a couple years, coached at Niles for a long time. Big asset to us. Going to be great for us. A lot of energy and brings it every day.
He's a good high school basketball player.
He was a good player. We played against him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
not
we're a
us.
champion.
Our
You were a
teams played.
champion because he's 0-2.
Yeah, I think they beat us his senior year, but I think we beat him as I can't remember.
His senior year they were good, but
We beat him his senior year. It was kind of an upset.
I hope he's listening right now because his junior year, his senior year, my junior year, I hit a half quarter to win it.
Not shocking,
Half
Jimmy.
quarter.
Not shocking.
Not shocking. I just want everybody.
Little
else to know.
shocking.
I want everybody else to know what happened.
Yeah.
But Jeff, this year, we're in the middle of the game. I forget who we're playing home game, and I had said something to the official, obviously.
As an assistant on the bench, right?
Yeah, Brian, I don't like that.
Go ahead. I know where the story's going.
Do you remember this?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I know you do. And he turns and says to me, if you get a technical,
I almost spit.
you will never coach here again.
like he can do that. Like he had influence for the next 30 years.
The rest of the year, I'm assuming, right?
Listen, just like I told TJ on the phone, I love the fact that he puts it on his shoulders. I'm going to do what it takes.
Yeah.
If we're going to lose, and we're going to lose because of technical foul, it's going to be because Jeff Brazil got the technical foul.
Right.
Years ago, we had an assistant get a technical foul. He apologized nonstop for like the next year.
But I think that happens more often than people think because officials don't want to hear from the assistant.
You mean
They don't.
When Coach got one in the JV game against Cheney?
Right. When he's an assistant, that's when he gets his technical.
2 years ago. Yeah, it's a bullshit call.
Hey, before we go any further, second best story. We don't have to talk about it. Ridge at Ridge halftime.
Okay.
The water story. 5 waters, no change.
Oh.
Yeah. I think we should talk about that. Go ahead, you say it.
Well, let me jump in. The technical foul against Cheney 2 years ago. You remember what I told that official?
That he'll never ever officiate a game at McDonald again.
Yeah.
But do you know what the bad thing was?
He
was
coming
back this year.
Yeah, this year because they don't
JV,
listen to me.
though. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, listen, I felt sorry for the kid. He couldn't get gigs anywhere else. We took him back.
We took him back.
I did say to him, didn't
You
you?
know the story?
Yeah, halftime at
ahead.
Ridge.
Halftime at Ridge, Coach Brazil buys 100 waters for the team every game.
Right.
So
And
he
himself.
tells a player, I won't mention a name, he might be related to Jeff.
He is.
Okay. Not his son.
Not Zach.
Tells his player, please go get me 5 waters. Hands him a $20 bill.
Right. 5 waters.
5 waters. I'm thinking at most $10. At most $2 a water. Probably
Right.
$1.
Right.
He comes back, hands us the 5 waters.
No
This
change.
is 1 minute into the halftime.
And this is we're talking. We're strategizing.
Well, not really, because Ridge, we beat him up pretty good this year.
Well, we're supposed to be talking.
Yeah, we were supposed to. And actually, in that game at Ridge, it was a little bit closer at half. The other,
I don't remember.
We ended up blowing them out
Yeah.
towards the end, like expected. But I mean, that's just how it is.
Right.
But you say, "Where's my change?"
So this is
And what
like
happens, Coach?
no.
He
Let me.
says there's no change.
Let's
He said they didn't give me any.
They
change.
didn't give me any change. But the funny part about that is like, we got to get the ball to Zach. He's coming off the screen here. This is it. And then he's like, where's my change? All the kids are like focused and like.
So for the next 5 minutes of halftime, Coach,
we're worried about water.
we're worried about no, not even worried about water. We're worried about the change from the water.
We ended up getting a change.
Coach Brazil's wife.
Yeah, Jackie went and got the change because I'm like, Jackie, this is ridiculous. I'm actually shocked we got the change from Ridge.
All right, go ahead.
We should have let them
Whatever you
keep it
got.
because they need it.
All right. This actually goes into, we were talking about what we're going to do after the show. So we got a question for Coach's office that came in, and it says, which bar or restaurant is the best atmosphere to watch a sporting event? That's a tough one because we were talking about this on the way in because I knew we got this.
We were trying to figure out where we're going after the show.
We're thinking about it, and I mean, what do you take into account for that? Do you, TVs? Food?
Yeah, food.
Drinks? Specials?
Listen, for me, it's food.
Food. I mean, that's all he does is eat.
Yeah, pizza, wings. What do you got?
Right.
Cheese sticks.
Mine is wherever I can watch the Notre Dame game.
So you don't care where you go?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll go to Irish Bob's by myself.
Yeah.
Well, and you're a beer drinker, so you want to know like who has the best beers.
Yes.
Right. And I'm cheap. So like I want specials.
Yeah.
Like I'm usually if it's $3 or $8, I'm buying a $3 beer.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm promoting Irish Bob's right now. They have tall Busch Lights for $1.50. Why would I not go there?
Sure.
Yeah, because they piss in them in the back and they give them to you for $1.50.
So
and it tastes like your Busch Light.
You can't tell
you
the
don't
difference.
know the difference.
That ain't right.
No. Irish Bob's is great.
I'll tell you what. Back in the day, Irish Bob's was oh my gosh, and hopefully they get some revitalized a little bit here and get it back home. But it's a great little. I mean, for me, I can walk there if I need to. So
little plug for YSN, sponsor for YSN. Cocos is great for sporting events.
Sure.
Oh my God.
That's where we're probably going to head after this.
Yeah, I mean they have the TVs, they have the whatever you want to watch is on. They have good specials. They got good pizza.
They got great pizza, great food.
Right.
I mean,
we always talk about Amen Corner.
Yeah, that's our go-to after games because it's just right over the bridge, and you know they have good food, and you know they take care of us over there. So,
but I'd rather sit in a smaller place and have decent food than go to some huge event.
So like the Royal Gardens.
Like B-Dubs is awesome to see it on. Like if you Royal Gardens is great, but if you go to B-Dubs for like March Madness, that's all right. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, but it's also $100 for 2 beers.
Right. Right.
Cheap ass.
And the food isn't great.
We don't all sell cards.
and the food isn't great. It's good.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's chain restaurant food. Who wants that?
All right, and I know we talked about this when you were on our show. You're a pizza guy, right?
Oh yeah.
So what's your best pizza? You're going to Elton, right?
Yeah. Right now I'm a Wedgwood guy though. I really am. It's
really?
just so close to my Wedgwood everything though.
Yeah.
Got to be the everything. Salami, everything. I want it all.
You don't eat?
Oh, not all that garbage.
Yeah. Well, you eat pizza. You like Chicago
cheese
pizza.
Well,
you ship them
go
into your
to
house.
Chicago.
Yeah, he likes the pizza that costs $50.
Right. Your wife eats that stuff. She eats the one with the broccoli and stuff like that on it.
Yeah, she does. But you know, Jackie was the one. We ended up in Chicago and we ate some good pizza, Giordano's. They ended up opening up it was just in Chicago.
We went there, me and you.
Yeah, and then they ended up opening up a place in Vegas. So when we go out to Vegas, we eat there, and then they opened up a place in Canton. So what we do is we used to get them shipped to our house, but now we just pick them up, and then you know they're frozen, but you know fresh out of the stove, the oven, whatever the hell it's called. Pretty good pizza.
You know, a good place to go with kids is Permane
Chuck E.
Brothers.
Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese is. Hey, listen,
the pizza's not bad.
It's not as bad as people say.
Oh my God!
I can sit and eat a whole pizza, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Rise Pies for kids.
Yeah.
They have the certain day, Tuesday, Wednesday, free pizza.
All right, what's
for
your next
kids.
question?
No. I was gonna say it's Permane Brothers. They're good with the kids. You put them at a table on the side.
You got a phone call.
We got a phone call. You put them on the table on the side. They can do what they want. And you get what they want. All right, we got a call on the line.
Let's see who it is.
All right, welcome to Full Court Press. How you doing?
How's it going?
Who we talking to?
This is Dan Schnurberger.
Uh-oh, this is one of Jimmy's boys.
Boy.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
What's going on?
You want to start, Jeff?
Go ahead.
No, you go first.
Coach, so first of all, let's talk about this. Do you think there'll be a season?
Absolutely, I do.
Good.
I think the way football is going, and even back to school for the schools that went back, I mean, all positive so far, and I do think there'll be a season. Now, some of these tournaments and stuff that multiple teams are going to, I think those are going to hurt. They're going to miss out on some of those, but you know, besides that, I think we'll play. Yeah.
I hope not, Schnur, because we open up in the Lisbon tournament. I don't want to miss that.
Yeah. We already got one canceled up at Walsh.
Were you able to fill those games?
Yeah, you know what? We're just we were gonna play Menor, and we're just now playing at Menor.
Oh, simple enough then. Coach, what do you got returning this year?
We have 3 starters returning, and then towards the end last year, we played a couple freshmen. who I really like. So fairly young, but you know, do have some experience coming back.
Now, you at Austintown, Fitch, is it rare for freshmen to play?
It is. I think, you know, when Sabria Hunter played, I had her in 19. She played as a freshman. And then prior to that, Megan Sefchek. Didn't get a chance to coach her, but she was a 14 grad. I know she played all the way up. But it is kind of rare because of the
big school.
Size of the school, yeah.
Coach, those are two special players that you're talking about there.
Oh, for sure. They're cousins, too. They're related. What's funny about that is they're related, yeah.
Those are probably some pretty good competitions in the driveway then.
Yeah.
And one thing is, I want people to know I had a chance this summer to go talk to the Austintown Fitch girls basketball team and hang out with Coach and his staff. And the way he runs things there is so smooth, and he just gets the respect of those girls so quick. I mean, it's just the relationship. I mean, I can never coach girls. I know that. It's just a different.
I tried for 1 year.
Yeah, you have to be a different human being, and I give him all the credit in the world. I'm going to be straightforward. When I got the job at McDonald, I tried to get him to come with me. He was one of my first reach outs, but you know, he has something going there, and Dan, what you do, and I have nothing but the respect and our friendship, and I'm so excited for what you got going forward here.
Coach, what year is this for you at Austintown Fitch?
This is fifth. This is the 5th year.
What do you feel like you've learned the most over that time?
Oh man, you know, first of all, Jim, I appreciate that, Jim. The patience behind it, the why. I guess the why behind everything you're going to do. You know, whether you're coaching boys or girls, and I think even more with girls. You better have a why with why we're doing this drill, why we're what we're doing right now, and if you're not present enough with them, it's not gonna translate. You're not gonna get shit out of it, you know.
You know what I felt like I learned too over time was when I first started coaching, I felt like every possession mattered, and not that it doesn't matter, but you know, in the first quarter, it's not that every possession matters. You know, it's almost a feeling out process. Where when I was young, I thought the first possession of the game was crazy. Right. You know, like don't screw up.
Yeah.
You know, don't take a bad shot. But sometimes the kids just need to feel their way through the beginning of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any pet peeves over 5 years? Like, has anything changed with the kids?
Oh man.
Yeah. Don't say it, Coach. I'll say it for you. Parents have changed.
You think over 5 years though?
Oh my God, yes, over 5 years.
Really?
Yes.
See, I always felt like parents were the same. I'll be honest with you. I thought parents were always a pain in the ass.
They were always assholes.
Yeah. I mean, listen, and I get it. We're all parents.
Right.
We get it. You know, you want your kids to be successful.
You have one kid that you're worried about.
Yeah, right. Right. But,
Coach, here's what I want you to talk about real quick, because since I was there, and I know a lot. I followed you for 5 years, long before that when you played and all that. Talk to me a little bit about your staff. You made some changes this coming up.
Yeah. Varsity assistant Natalie Lynn, she played for me in 2017. She's like an all-world person. She was academic all Ohio. She was all Northeast Ohio, and great communicator, great leader. Jason Cenadac, who was at Lakeview, who was the head girls coach at Lakeview, he's come over now. He's actually a 2001 Fitch grad with me. And then Dan Horacek, who, if you know Dan, you know who he is. Best dude you ever probably meet. He's a JV coach, and then Mariah Rovnak, who also is a Fitch girl that she ended up going and playing for Ron Michella at Columbiana before my time. But she'll tell you if I was there, she would have been a Fitch. She wouldn't have went there. But yeah, it's I'm happy. They're young, they're energetic. You know, their visibles are there, and they can relate. So I'm happy where we're at right now.
We talk all the time about never coaching. We would never want to coach girls basketball. We're all boys coaches in the room here, but you know, you see now even on the pro level, you see some women coming through that they're talking about potential head coaches. Where do you see that dynamic of women coaching professional athletes, coaching the men?
Yeah, I mean, I would take some of the assistants I have over to a boys staff. I would right now, just because. Oh man, if you can communicate and you can relate and you can drive them, and you know that's so valuable. and you see these clips now. They're not just of you saw the Duke women's coach talking the other day about being competitive, and it's not just clips you're seeing now with Coach K and whoever else. You're seeing Gino and the women's side coaches, but female coaches as well.
Dan, real quick, one of the main things I don't think people know about you that don't know you is how big of a family person you really are. Your wife and your kids and the time you spend with them, and you give a lot up to Coach.
Yeah, it's tough because I enjoyed the quarantine. I think I may look back. I think we're all going to look back on different times of our life and say, can I go back to this time? For some people, that quarantine was hell, but for me, that was. I might someday say I'd take that. I'll take those 4 months back over any 4 months of my entire life, just because it was simple. It was my 5-year-old son Johnny and 4-year-old daughter and my 1-year-old son Grayson and my wife, and we did silly stuff, and we had a hell of a time.
Yeah. I think we all have similar stories to that.
Yeah,
you think
I
it's
lost
crazy?
35 pounds.
Yeah, Jimmy lost a small child.
Dave, appreciate it, honestly. Me and you will get together here soon.
Good luck this year.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're going to be super competitive. 3 starters returning and some kids coming off the bench.
Hey, they could go 10 deep. Hopefully we may see some Fitch girls running a little McDonald press.
Hey, Jimmy, take it easy over there.
All right.
No. I appreciate it, guys. You guys are great.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
anytime.
Thanks, Coach.
Anytime.
All right, we got another coach calling in. We talked about girls versus boys. That's tough.
Listen, I coached girls for 1 year, JV girls, and I was thankful. Renee Ackerman, it was my 2nd year out of champion, and she saw something in me and said, hey, I want you to be on my staff. So I jump over to JV girls, and she was just a great role model. But anyways, we had a great JV season, but I'd go into the locker room at halftime and say, we need to rebound, and they'd all start crying.
Yep.
And they'd be like, you said we suck. It's just to each their own. It's not something that I probably would be very successful at.
Yeah.
The other part of that, though, even like younger kids, I struggle with that too.
Yeah.
Where some people thrive in those situations. So, Dean's a great coach.
I always felt like if you could get girls to play athletic, up and down, physical, you have an advantage.
Well, and I hate to say it like this, but almost like boys.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it like that, but
and the 2 girls that he talked about were those type of players.
Could step onto a court.
Yeah, Megan Sefter played at Akron for 4 years, and Hunter's at Army or Navy.
Yeah, one of the.
She's at Army, I believe.
One of the schools. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's crazy that he was talking about freshmen playing at Fitch. You would never think freshmen could play at Fitch.
Their freshman
They're
class
good, though.
is really good.
The difference between girls and boys, though, is girls are physically developed a lot of times as freshmen, where boys, man, if you're playing varsity basketball as a boy at Fitch or varsity football, you're probably a Division I recruit.
Yeah, having a couple of Fitch coaches on here makes me think. I was at YSU. I was in the football for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Some of the football players are actually going to be mentors in our program, which is fantastic. So we already got 10 YSU football players signed up to be Big Brothers in our program. But there were some Ursuline grads in the meeting that I was in. They are not happy with Fitch. They were not happy with that game.
Over the score.
No, not talking about they ran it up or anything
but
just
that
they got
lost.
beat like that. And they were saying how many kids Fitch has, and they have an advantage over every school and stuff like that. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Don't schedule them.
Yeah, don't put them on your schedule. That wasn't Ursuline's brass saying that. Those are just
kids.
Right.
I get it. They want to win. They want to be successful. They're alma mater.
But Fitch is a machine, though, right?
Well, I think going forward, they're going to be a machine going for a long time. They have their quarterback's a junior. He's probably one of the best around.
Yep.
And then they have, go ahead.
Yeah, we have someone on the line. We have you for another hour, Jimmy, so we're good. All right, we got another call on the line. Hey, welcome to Full Court Press. Who we got calling?
This is Donnie Riccatelli.
Donnie, the captain. FCP captain.
Here's our captain. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys?
Donnie, I told Higgins earlier I'm taking you over Smurf. I like Smurf, but I think you're the guy. You're the guru.
Wait, the guy for what? Football picks?
For football picks.
I'm taking Donnie over anybody in anything.
Yeah, that's right. Donnie's not losing.
Including Randy. I like Randy.
Higgins had Smurf. I took you, Donnie.
Donnie's way ahead of Randy.
What do you think, Donnie? What do you think's up on the schedule for football this week?
Wait, before we go on, are there crickets in here? What
hear
the
it.
hell is going on?
I thought I was losing.
Okay, as long as we're all hearing it.
No, I hear it too. I think
They're
it's
all
in the
over
ceiling or
something.
something.
Something's crazy in this place. All right, Donnie.
Talk about football this week, Donnie.
Who do you want first?
Well, hey, let's go with the big game. McDonald Springfield, who you like?
Listen, McDonald's had 2 scrimmages to start the season, which has been really nice for them, but tonight they actually play against some big boys. And I think it's going to be a great learning experience for them in case they run into Kennedy down the road.
Sure.
But honestly, Springfield's going to be too much for them tonight.
Listen, Donnie, I don't know if everybody knows this. I have a couple inside sources. Springfield's running back's out tonight. 2-game suspension.
Is it really?
For a fight.
Fight at
Wow.
school?
I think in the game last week is what I heard.
Okay.
So he is out tonight. He will not be playing.
Is Brungard out?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. But his last name's not Brungard, right?
All right, so not going with the alma mater, you're going with Springfield. Going with the head, not the heart.
All right, what about Ursuline Boardman?
Ursuline Boardman, here's the deal. You have the tale of 2 one-dimensional teams right now. Boardman going with the Terrence Thomas show, while Jason Cerveri's still out nursing that ankle. So, but then you have Ursuline, who basically doesn't even have a running game. Their one stud receiver, Dean Boyd's out on offense tonight with a broken hand. So it's going to be a closer game than you think. But I think it's going to come down to Boardman not being able to cover out in coverage, out in space. So I'm going to give it a slight edge to Ursuline.
Ooh. Smurf took Boardman, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Okay.
How about Liberty at Champion?
Well, here you go. Liberty at Champion. Is Austin Wilfork going to be able to, or Wilfork going to be able to carry the load the entire way for 2 weeks? That seems like all they can do. Champion lost to Southeast. They're 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
Southeast is usually terrible. Liberty lost to Brookfield only by 35-12 or whatever it was. But you saw what Brookfield did to those mighty LeBray Vikings. So honestly, I'm gonna go with Jeff Brazil on this one and the Champion Golden Flash.
You are going against
Listen,
Smurf.
I don't know anything about Champions football team, to be quite honest with you. I know that Austin's, he's a monster. He's been playing for 4 years, basically.
He's one of the hardest working kids you'll see in any grade, any
Big,
division,
strong
so.
kid, running back. With that said, I talked to a couple of football players today at Champion. They're very optimistic tonight.
Well, that means they're excited. They're ready to play. Yeah. We don't know what kind of mood Liberty's going to be in going there. So.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more. Valley at Columbiana.
I think Columbiana will be too disciplined defensively, and they'll get the job done. I don't think, especially going to Columbiana, I don't think there's going to be too much of an issue there.
Yeah, you got to get around the tractors, though.
Right.
All right, Gerard at Poland. This is an easy one, right?
Listen, South Ring's been your believer, guys, number 1. Okay. But Gerard has absolutely no chance going into Poland tonight. No chance. So pulling big. I'm with Smurf on that one.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
By the way, Schoenberger, I've been trying to get him to go to Vegas with me for the last 3 years. If you're still listening, let's go already, man. Come on.
Well, Donnie, we'll go to Vegas with you.
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
I'm out.
And Jimmy's not allowed.
I'm out.
You're not twisting my arm, guys. You're not twisting my arm.
Hey, we had Coach T.J. Parker on earlier. I don't know if you were able to hear it, but you talked about Fitch a little bit last week, and I know he downplayed a lot of his talent, but you were right on.
He was very humble.
Yeah.
He was very humble. I mean, I set that line last week at 24 points. They won by 28, and that's only because they had their third string in the last 6 minutes of the game. But honestly,
Donnie, with that said, their third string quarterback is probably top 5 in the county.
All day.
Literally. I mean, he's a freshman. He's the real deal. I mean, there ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah. They're loaded for days with these guys. I mean, it's amazing to see, and it finally KBN gave them their due, putting them number 1. I mean, it's pretty awesome to watch. I mean, I feel so bad for Cheney tonight because, I mean, we basically can name that score. And
yeah, you can put a number down, right.
Donnie, before we let you go, we made Smurf name the score in the McDonald-Springfield game. What do you got?
Well, I mean, with that inside information, with that running back being out, I still say it's going to be, a 38-21, something along those lines.
Okay.
I think McDonald can score with them early. I just think Springfield's going to be too much later on in the game.
Donnie, here's what my guy told me today. He said the running back being out could actually be worse for McDonald. Because
now
they're going to say, hey, Bo, you got to carry it 40 times tonight, bud.
And air it out a little bit.
Yep. So.
Right, and here's the deal with this game. You know, if McDonald gets lucky enough to meet up with Kennedy down the road in regionals, it's going to be a great learning game for them. I mean, and last week, Higgins, you put me on the spot, so I didn't really think quick enough for Jesse Likens is already committed to Air Force and Kennedy.
Okay.
So there's their small school.
Yep.
There's their small school with the big offer already.
Yep.
You know, Cam Hollabaw's probably a better football player on that team than Jesse Likens at Kennedy, and you know he's going to go big for baseball. But my God, I mean, you know, for McDonald to be able to play this schedule and be able to play this team early and know that it's not going to affect anything come postseason, that's a huge boost.
Yep, for sure.
And honestly, I think you know, because you look at Warren JFK's schedule, they don't play anybody. I don't even think they play a Division 6 team. They play all 3s, 4s, and 5s.
Yeah, I don't even know if they play real football teams.
No, they'll be battle tested, ready to go. So yeah.
Donnie, I'm sorry. I'm going to put you on the spot one more time. You see any shockers out there tonight besides the 5 games we talked about? Is there any big upsets that you see?
No, I mean honestly, maybe East over Mooney, but if East can get out of their way discipline-wise, I mean, my God, they had 6 penalties in a row the one series. You know, that shot themselves in the foot against Boardman.
Yeah.
I just don't see anything major as a major upset. I mean, who's Lobo playing this week? Are they playing anybody of relevance?
Waterloo.
No. Hey, real quick though, we were talking earlier in the week about bad officiating.
Okay.
And I just wanted to bring that up. You know, that Howland Cheney game.
God.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I hope everybody saw that play. I mean, it would have been 18-0 Cheney.
Right.
Had they let him score, had that play gone through like it should have. But how many times have we seen bad officiating or a bad call just totally disrupt the game? I mean, obviously, Jeff, it's always going to be burned in your eyes and your heart. You know, at the end of the game of the Lucas game where they didn't call the foul.
Right.
You know, but I mean, in all sports, you know, it's too damn bad that we have to sit back and just take it for whatever they give us. There needs to be accountability.
That's exactly what I wrote an email to the OHSAA, and that's exactly what I said is, you know, there's accountability across. The kids lose, we lose, you know, all of that business. The officials go home and go to bed. And listen, it's not a job that I would want to do, by no means.
Right.
But you know, it's just sad for everybody involved. You know, the kids work sometimes their whole lives for that moment, and then it's kind of taken away.
Well, the
bullshit.
The bullshit of that call wasn't that it was a bad call. It was a bad call, but it was so late. The delay in it. I mean, right? I mean, he didn't.
Yeah, I don't know how you have an illegal man downfield 2 yards.
Well, that's true, but like he waited.
Oh yeah,
forever.
they're running off the field.
Yeah.
And honestly,
just don't make the call.
There are a lot of really good officials out there. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
Name them.
John Champ Wolf, I love him. Champ's awesome.
Champ.
You know, Jamie Palumbo's great.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just to name a couple. But honestly, there are a ton of really good officials out there.
Donnie, real quick, back to Lucas. Thank God you were there to have our back. And then looking back, knowing you had COVID at the same time. I mean, geez. Jeff would have been lost without you because we weren't helping him.
And I don't think Lucas has any medical care. So, like, if any of those guys would have got COVID, half the town would be dead.
Yeah, they would be dead. They'd all be dead. Well, you know what, though? I think alcohol kills COVID, and there was plenty of alcohol in their system, so I think we're okay there.
They didn't have to worry about COVID that night.
Well, thanks, Donnie, for coming on. We're going to bring you in again next week. And anything to add before we let you go?
No, honestly, guys, you guys are doing a great job. The show's so much fun now. I mean, keep it up. It's great. And, you know, I'll be happy to go 3-2 this week by not picking McDonald or Boardman. But, you know, I'll take those L's in a heartbeat. But unfortunately, I think I'm going 5-0.
Yep.
All right, thanks, brother. Talk to you soon.
Thanks,
All right, guys.
See ya.
Talk to you.
All right, that was Donnie Riccatelli. Donnie knows everything about all these schools.
Yeah,
Do you think he's researching it, or is he just he's watching?
I think he talks to a lot of people. And,
yeah,
you know,
he does. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
All right, if you want to call us, you can call in at 330-886-0813.
Oh, man,
we got a call already. Man, we're blowing up.
Dang, who could this be?
All right, welcome to Full Court Press. You're on the line. What's your name?
Lindsay Francis Shelley.
Oh, no.
Jimmy's wife.
Oh, you know what? I'm getting bad reception. We might have to drop.
Hey, listen, I have to call both you and Jimmy out. You guys said you guys were going to wear tuxes.
No. Brian said we were going to wear tuxes. For those of you that don't know, Brian controls my Facebook page.
We have a social media person that does all our Facebook stuff. I would love to see Jimmy and Jeff in a tux.
Yeah, I know. What the heck?
You saw me in a tux. What the hell?
Jeff probably will at my next wedding.
Yeah. Hey, when Jimmy gets married for the second time, I'll see him in a tux.
Oh, very funny.
I don't think she has to worry about that.
Hey, Lindsay,
Yeah.
it's your husband. Quick question. I know you coached volleyball at Girard for a few years. You were supposedly a good player. I don't know.
Really? Oh, don't even start with me.
Can't confirm nor deny. But my question for you is, do you have aspirations to coach again?
I don't know. Listen, I didn't call in for all this
No,
questioning. I just
answer
called
the
in
question, yes or no.
I mean, yeah, I do. I would like to coach again. I don't know.
Lindsay, you know, I've been around you, and I just think you got just a great demeanor with the kids, and would do an excellent job.
Well, thanks.
All right, and I got a question before we're gonna let you go too. No,
we're not letting her go. She has a question. That's why she called in.
She
What the
called
hell?
in.
No, I don't have a question. I just didn't know why you guys weren't wearing the.
Oh, that's your question.
Well, mine didn't come in time.
So we talked to Jeff and I. We talked to our wives in one of our previous shows and talked about like how difficult it is to be the wife of a basketball coach. Coming into McDonald and knowing how crazy Jeff was on the sidelines, were you a little worried about Jimmy and some of the heat you would get as the spouse in the stands?
I was worried in a way, but I know how Jeff is, and I mean, off the court, we love Jeff.
Yeah. On the court, you don't love me? That's what you're saying?
On the court, he's a little crazy.
I love them both on and
Lindsay,
off.
you know what? I always say this, and it's not easy. You know, Jackie's been the wife of the coach for 20 years, and, you know, when Zach started playing, it became even more difficult.
Yeah.
And she would go up in the balcony by herself for those games. But when you're the coach and you're the spouse, you got to have thick skin.
For sure.
You're going to have people in the stands that are going to listen. You're going to get critiqued. You're going to get criticized, and you've got to be able to deal with that.
Hey, one thing I gotta
You have
say.
to let a lot of things go in 1 year and out the
Absolutely, and if you can't, then you
like
don't
at home.
Listen, if you can't do that, then A, you don't coach, or if you're the spouse, B, you don't come.
Yeah.
Hey, Linz, one thing I have to say about you and your parents and my parents is how supportive. You know, I didn't really know if head coaching was going to happen again for me or when it was going to happen. But you guys have been so supportive, and I got to say, you know, as a McDonald community, we kind of went through something these last couple weeks with one of our players. Jamie Portalese was a great guy, and Jake's a great player and really close to him. But
Yeah,
the way,
as a representative of Full Court Press, we just want to give our condolences
Yes,
to the whole
absolutely.
Portalese family. We know Dylan played for us.
Yeah, Dylan
and
played for us.
And Jake played for us last year. He's playing. He's your senior. this year.
Richie Martin, who's a relative, coached with us for years, and is a good friend.
And Kim's been a friend of ours forever. So
it's
you know,
sad.
Jake and Dylan lost their dad, and you know we're thinking of them, and they're in our prayers.
But the way that our, including my wife, and we rallied to help out whatever was needed, and just seeing everybody come together for a family, it really makes you want to be a part of that community and the program and what's going forward. But it's been, listen, without them, I wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't, because I got two young kids.
It's hard.
And my kids love being around it. They really do. But without their sacrifices, and it just wouldn't happen.
I mean, Lindsay, it's difficult to be a coach's wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's super hard. We know that.
It puts a lot of stress on everything. It's not just Jimmy's decision to become the coach either. It has to be like a mutual decision because
no.
in the basketball season, everybody thinks it's just basketball season, but really you get 2 months off, if that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a full-time job now.
Yeah.
This isn't 1980 or earlier where it was 3 months or 4 months. This
Lindsay,
truly is
for
a
the
full-time
record,
job.
you had no play in the decision.
Lindsay, let me say this. There was a show that Jimmy was on, and he said he doesn't listen to you one bit.
Oh, I know. And he when we were listening to it, he was laughing so hard. He thought he was hilarious.
Yeah, he slept outside that night.
He knows he asks me all the time what he should do, but I'm just a soft heart, and I feel bad for the players that don't play.
Well, that's probably why we're not going to ask you.
We don't. And one other thing, real quick, is when, when I went through everything at Struthers and stepping down and that, we took a lot of heat.
I'm sure.
There was bad talk. There was this. There was that. This person hated us. That person hated us. And our next guest is going to lead into that.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of people think there's a lot of bad blood between me and Coach Wernicke. That's by far not the case.
People don't understand.
They don't. We're actually good friends. I mean, and he's going to talk a little bit about that. And but it was hard for her to hear people talk.
For sure.
And it made it. And same with my parents. Hear people talk bad about me or whatever, whether it was true or not. Some of it was true. There's no doubt about it. But I just, like you said, you have to have some thick skin. And
you have to have thick skin.
Yeah.
For sure.
You do, and it's not easy, and especially if you're not winning on the court.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you listen, I think TJ said it, winning heals all wounds, or
For
someone
sure.
had mentioned it.
TJ did,
When you win, it's hard, even though you're going to get criticized, it's hard to criticize because you're winning.
Yeah, there's nobody that hates TJ Parker right now.
Right. I mean, he's
no
the
matter
hero.
what he does.
He's the hero.
Right.
But when you lose,
Yep.
I always say this as a coach. You ask me, I could have a 20-0 team returning, all 5 starters.
Yeah.
And how's your season going to be? Oh, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right, Lindsay, for the record, go get us dinner.
Yep. Hey, Lindsay.
Jimmy's not coming home for dinner.
I won't be home for dinner, sorry.
Pick up some Wedgwood on the way home.
No, I won't be home for dinner.
He's going with us.
We got to go to Coca's first.
We'll have him home by 3.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
All right. Hey,
Thanks for calling in, Lindsay.
All right, bye, guys.
See ya. All right, that was the better half.
Oh, whoa.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
All right.
honestly, yeah. But like Jeff had said, and you both have said, without your wives, it's just impossible. And my parents are a huge part. And I know, Jeff, yours, and I've brought in some years at game. I mean,
I don't think my parents have ever missed a game.
I was just going to say that.
I really
don't
don't.
know if I coached 2 years at Toronto, Ohio. That's an hour and 15 minutes away.
Right.
My parents were there any chance they had.
Family, Jimmy.
Got another call on the line. We're going to go right in?
Yeah,
All right, let's keep going. I'm about to pass out. Hey, welcome to Full Court Press. You're on the line. What's your name?
No, I was calling in to speak with Jimmy.
Do you really want to talk to Jimmy?
All right, we're just going to get off. You can talk to me.
Who we got here? Is this Coach Wernicke?
This is Coach Wernicke.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. And listen, I was just telling when my wife had just called in, I had a chance. We both had a chance to go to a graduation party, me and Coach Wernicke, this weekend of one of our players that played for both of us, and I think me and him hung out for 3+ hours. Coach, talk about people think just because I stepped down and you took over that there's this bad blood between us.
Well, when it was brought up to me, first of all, it was the first I ever heard of it. And I thought it was ridiculous. The reality of it is, I didn't know anybody in Struthers until long after you had left. As a matter of fact, you and I didn't meet until I want to say
I came to the Niles game. I think I came to the Niles home game your first year.
Yep, mid-January.
Yep.
And Coach Mark brought you down, and that was the first time that we had ever gotten a chance to speak. And to be honest with you, because I don't know anybody in the community, I mean, obviously I do now. Like, nobody had ever said a word to me about you or, me or you're contrasting the program. So when I heard about it, I thought it was, like, ridiculous. It's one of those things that, sometimes somebody says something who doesn't know, and then all of a sudden that becomes
Truth.
fact. And it could be further from the truth.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is I stepped away and you took over and you went running with it. I mean, and I know Coach Brazil is going to probably have you talk about it, but your success last year.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Coach.
Well, my success last year, has nothing to do with our relationship. I mean, I've been doing this long enough to know that, every coach, relatively speaking, does a good job. The outcomes, what people see as far as win-loss records, might not always be what we hope them to be. But everybody, this is a tough job. I don't care what level you coach at, whether it's high school, college, pro. it is a tough job. The
That's
last
right.
thing that I would ever do would be to comment about the job that somebody did. We don't know what circumstances any given coach is tied down to or what he has to deal with on a daily basis. And, you know, just as a respect thing from coach to coach, I don't ask, you know, I just don't ask those questions. So I know you did a good job because the year you left, you win the district championship. The year I took over, we lost in the first round. I was 10.
Coach, this is Jeff Rizzo from McDonald. How you doing?
Good. How you doing? Speaking of a successful coach.
Hey, thanks. Hey, I got a quick question for you. I mean, you coached college basketball for a while.
Yeah, I was involved with it for 21 years.
21 years. What do you think is the biggest difference between college and high school?
Oh, where do I start? I mean, you know, the kids under themselves, there's not a lot of difference between the kids. You know, a lot of it has to do with the outside factors.
Okay.
Like at the college level, you've got the kids on campus, and you know, the parents aren't around. You know, the parents are. I'll start off with that. The parental involvement is a big difference between the collegiate level and the high school level. You know, at the collegiate level, the parents aren't around. You know, most of them live far away. Most of them aren't able to come to games,
Right.
maybe once or twice a year. So you don't get that parental involvement like you do at the high school level. You know, from a coaching standpoint, you know, at the college level, that's what you do. I mean, that's what you're spending all your time on.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need, you know, you're not a teacher or you don't have, you know, a separate job outside of the building. So you've got more time to, you know, to dedicate to it. Plus, you know, the recruiting factor. You know, you're not recruiting the high school kids like you are the college kids.
Some are.
At the high school, yeah, that's true. Trust me, I went through it this year.
I know you did.
I know you did. We talked about that on an earlier show.
But I mean, the kids themselves, you know, the kids themselves want to be coached. They want to learn. It's no different at the high school level or the collegiate level. Now, the one thing you do have to deal with at the high school level is, you know, when you have a college roster, depending on how well you recruit or not, typically, you know, you've got 10 or 11 guys that can step in and contribute in some way, shape, or form. A lot of times at the high school level, you know, if you've got 9 guys that can contribute, that's too many guys.
Yes, yes. You can't play them.
The games are shorter. You
Yes.
can't keep everybody happy.
Right.
Coach Wernicke, that's why Jeff always only kept 6 guys.
At every level.
Coach, you know, and I always say that about high school basketball. People don't understand. Let's just use high school football for example. You could always put that kid on special teams, you know, or something of that nature. High school basketball, you can't do that. It's 5 kids.
No, you can't.
There's and parents don't understand that.
Right.
You know, in cross country, high school cross country, everybody runs. But in
Most
basketball,
people in the community, most people in the community don't think we know what we're doing anyways, and can't understand why we don't play 15 kids.
Right.
But you know, the bottom line is, if you've got, like, say 3 or 4 really good kids, say 2 really good kids and 3 good kids, you're not taking your best players off the floor.
no chance.
Right.
Zero.
You know,
right.
a high school game is so short, and with breaks in between quarters and halftime and timeouts, those kids don't get tired.
Right.
Unless they're, you know, in foul trouble or some other reason, you're just not taking your best kids off the floor.
I agree. Absolutely agree. Our kids played 32 minutes. Our best players played 32 minutes. And we were a small school, so very rarely did we even have 9 kids. But with that said, I'm with you 100% on that.
Hey, Coach, I know, Coach, real quick, before, we're not going to keep you too long, but before we get into too much here, I know what your toughest game is next year by far, obviously.
McDonald.
At Struthers, yeah, last game of the year. I mean, I know that. Other than that, though, who's going to, in the league, who's going to be good? I mean, I know districts. I know Cheney's going to be good again. It's going to be you and Cheney.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to write it down right now, I'm putting you and Cheney there again. But who else is there?
Well, I mean, in our league alone, you know, I think a lot of it has to, our league offers, the way it's constructed now, obviously you never coached in the league as it is constructed now. It's very different.
Yep.
Some of the teams win by style.
Oh yeah.
Some of the teams win by coaching. Like when you play Poland, like Poland's going to be very good again this year because they're good every year.
Yeah,
and, you know, Coach Grisdale does a great job, and he's gonna put in a system that's gonna accentuate whatever kids he has, and they'll be successful. So they'll be in the top 2 or 3 in our league again. You know, South Range is going to beat you up, and I don't mean that. I mean that respectfully. They're very physical, and Coach Cullen does a great job of coaching that way. And,
he does, Coach. He does, but
Yep.
I can't watch him. I can't watch them make 35 passes in a possession against you again.
Well, he does a great job of coaching that way and keeping the games competitive.
I know.
So they're going to be very good. I think Jefferson is going to be the sleeper team in the league this year. They had a lot of sophomores that they played last year, and they had a new coach last year, a kid named Rob Pisano, who I know personally because he's from Erie. He was I think he was at Lakeside maybe for a while, or Edgewood, one of the other schools up there, and had a lot of success with them, and really did a good job last year with his young kids. So I think they're going to be very good. You know, so right there, you know, I think we'll be competitive. So, you know, that's 4 teams right there.
Coach, hold on a minute, Coach. Coach, hold on a minute.
Lou Holtz on.
Listen here. You're the clear favorite to win it. Don't. Come on.
Now, I mean, I don't know.
I know. Listen, I agree.
You know what, Coach? Also, 1 injury away. Everybody's 1 injury away.
Absolutely. And, you know, I've got a new group of kids. I got a lot of young kids, and I've got a group of seniors that have to re-buy into a new, you know, kind of a new mantra this year. I tell my guys all the time, like, if you think that anything you did last year is going to carry over to this year, you're crazy. So, I mean, I hope that's the case. I hope we're going to have a good year. But, you know, like I said, there's no nights off in our league. And then outside of the league, you know, we're playing Fitch on the road, which would be a tough game. And obviously, you know, the McDonald game at home.
Oh, yeah, Coach. I can't wait to come back and just come back to the field. There ain't no better place to play a game than there. Hey, last thing before we go. Coach, before we go, we have a couple minutes before we're done with the show. But talk a little bit about coming up here, what you guys are doing at Struthers. I don't even know if Coach know yet. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, we're doing September 26th. What we're trying to do is I'm putting together an event I'm going to try to get the best kids in the area and do a little bit of a showcase. The Division 2 and 3 schools are allowed out as of a couple days ago, so it's a live period for them. Nobody comes to Youngstown to recruit any single kid. They just don't.
They think it's shit basketball, truthfully.
Exactly. So what I'm doing is we're going to basically have the best 28 kids in the class of 21 playing from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and then the best kids in the classes of 22 and 23 from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. This will be the 26th of September in the field house. Now, it's not going to be a free-for-all. I'm putting the kids through some skill work. We're going to do some controlled 3-on-3 so coaches can see them in different environments. And then we're going to play 5-on-5. We'll have them broken into 4 different teams. I've got officials coming, so the games are officiated the right way. And we're going to invite as many coaches in the region that we can get. I've already got probably 10 or 11 schools committed to coming, and I think it'll really help the kids in the area, get seen, and maybe for a couple kids, maybe it'll result in a scholarship offer or at least an opportunity to play at the next level.
Coach, since you brought that up, I have this question. You've done both. You've done college for many, many years, and you did high school now, or you've done high school and still continue to do it. How hard is it to get that college scholarship?
It's hard. People think that they grow on trees.
Yes.
I mean, it is, and the thing that always bothered me, and I'll be frank about this, since I came to the area, the thing that always bothered me was people look down on Division III basketball when, at the end of the day, some of the best coaching and some of the best basketball you get is at the Division III level. And let's face it, we have a lot of good Division III kids in our area who just won't go play Division III because they feel like it's beneath them.
Yeah, right.
It drives me crazy.
Right.
It drives me crazy.
I was fortunate. My 2 oldest kids, both of them got college scholarships. And people think it's so easy. I'm just going to put my kid, in a travel AAU team, and they're going to get a college scholarship. And I'm like, you have no clue. It is brutal. The competition. You go to a big AAU tournament in July, and there's 5,000 kids there. Like it is. And when I say kids, I'm talking about players. I'm not talking about 5,000, kids who can't pick up a ball or can't do anything with a ball. It's insane.
No question.
Insane.
And as a father who has, very talented, sons who have been able to be blessed and get college scholarships. You understand it. I look at it, and when I was at the college level, and I would tell kids, look, you're doing yourself a disservice if you think that the highest level is the only thing that's out there. You got to go to a level where the question I ask everybody is, when I was at YSU, would you be happy sitting on the bench and never playing, but saying you played at YSU, or do you need to be playing 18 to 25 to 30 minutes a night to be happy?
Agreed.
And the kids in their heart need to be playing. They tell me, "Oh, I just want to be here," and then they leave. They all leave after a semester or two. There's no exception. And you can look right now. There's an example staring you in the face. Duncan Robinson played at Division III Williams College, and now he's a starter in the NBA.
Right.
The level of competition at Division III is tremendous.
Oh, Mount Union, we went and watched because one of my former players, Braden Poole, was at Mount Union. I mean, they've got an awesome program. Mike Fuline does a tremendous job up there. It is big-time basketball. That's big-time basketball. Just because you played high school basketball doesn't mean you can go play basketball at Mount Union. Like, kids don't understand that. Mount Union would beat a lot of Division II schools. And,
they would.
And Division II's no joke. I mean, Zach's at West Liberty right now, and we went and watched him play a couple times last year. I mean, it's big time.
You're talking about a program that's going to compete for a national championship.
Yes, big time basketball. It's big time basketball, and I mean, kids are fortunate if they can even sniff a Mount Union or West Liberty, and God bless them if they can get to a YSU.
Exactly.
Hey, well, thanks
for.
Go ahead, Coach.
Before I go, anybody out there who thinks that there's anything between me and Jimmy, I'll tell you this: the only thing that's out there is I'm trying to catch up to him because I think he's a better coach. But as far as our relationship, Jimmy and I are really, really good friends. So everybody out there can put that to bed.
Coach, we're going to have to find out this year who the better coach is on what date.
No,
what's
Coach,
the date?
I don't even know what it is, but it's the last game. Like
End of the
February
year.
15th, maybe?
Yeah.
Coach, hey, I appreciate you. I really do, and I appreciate what you've done for Struthers basketball. Me playing there and being still in the school, you're doing a tremendous job.
I appreciate it, and I'm always blessed to speak to two really good coaches. Obviously, Coach Brazil's a Hall of Famer, and you'll be someday, and hopefully I'm in it long enough to have as much success as you guys have had.
I appreciate
Hey,
it.
Coach, thanks for calling in. We appreciate
Coach.
it. We'll get you on come basketball season.
Anytime, whatever you need, just let me know.
Perfect.
Have a great
Thanks,
weekend,
Coach.
guys.
You too.
Thanks, Coach. All right, squash the rumors. I think you got everything taken care of today, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Everything that you
Let's be honest here. Does anybody dislike Jimmy? I mean, really?
Nobody.
I mean, I walk into a bar with Jimmy. Everybody knows Jimmy.
right.
Jimmy's like, don't worry, I got this week covered. I got all the guests
I
coming.
hope that's a good thing. But listen, Coach Wernicke has done. I mean, that people have to understand. My last year at Struthers, we kind of fell into we fell into the 60, which was a good spot for us.
Mm-hmm.
People would be like, "Oh, you got the 60." No, we had some winnable games. We go right to West Branch. We're up 25 to nothing to start the game. They're the 3 seed. We come back and play Holland. We skip over everybody.
Yeah.
Not that those teams weren't good, but it led to that. And then, I resigned late in the process. It was at the end of May. So,
Yeah, and just to dispel any rumors, you had your job.
Oh yeah,
Struthers hired you to be the basketball.
Yes, absolutely. And I resigned for my personal reasons that we've talked about on your guys' show.
Yeah.
And I needed to get my family straight. The opportunity came to join you guys. And listen, it happened for the better. They got a great guy.
Yep.
I'm doing what I like to do.
Yep.
McDonald's
Great
got
program.
you. Yeah.
And it's perfect. Listen, last thing I'll say is I'm excited for basketball season. I hope we get to have a season. My staff we're at it right now. We really are. Start next week, we're legit almost 6 days a week between lifting and basketball. So
that does it for Full Court Press. We're up against the hour, Jimmy. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, I appreciate
anytime
it.
you come in, anytime you want. We got a couple more weeks of this. You can jump in anytime.
Great.
I know we probably missed a couple phone calls. We had someone on the horn the whole
Call
time.
in next week.
Call in next week. We'll be here at 4:15 next week. Up next, we got Anthony Hartwig with Countdown to Kickoff. You wanted something to say?
Just last week we were number 3 on Apple's top podcasts or vlogcast. Please get more viewers. Let's get to number 1.
All right. Thanks for everything. Thanks, Jimmy.
yes,
Talk to you guys.
Thank you guys.